Hello, and welcome to the final lab session, Creating an Approval Process in Power Automate, part of the App in a Day training. My name is Eric Levin, and I'm a Principal Solutions Architect and a Microsoft Business Applications MVP working in the city of New York. The fourth hands-off lab will cover Module 4 of the App in a Day training, Power Automate, and will go over the process of creating an approval process with Flow. If you haven't completed the Introduction lab, which goes over the prerequisites and the first 3 labs of this training, please stop now and go back to these labs to make sure that you're ready to go. In this final lab, we'll go over the process of triggering a Power Automate flow when a new record is created in CDS and sending an approval request. We will show how to create conditional branching based on the response and send email notifications. And finally, we will update the CDS record with the comments from the approval process. We will demonstrate the approval center and see the status of flows when they run. Now, let's go ahead and start with this lab. In our fourth module, we'll start with creating the approval request flow. Although the documentation specifies to use flows, or to use the link on the left-hand side, flows, we're going to actually create the new flow from within the solution. So we're going to click on the New button, select Flow, and we'll get the new flow window. In order to start the flow, I have to select what trigger I want to use with the flow. We will be using the Common Data Service for when a record is created. When you create a flow from within a solution, the flow is solution aware and can be migrated across the environments. When we look at the second flow, it is called Common Data Service Current Environment, and this is the flow we're going to be using in order to make it solution aware. So we'll choose the trigger when a record is created, update, or deliver. This will automatically sign into our environment. Our trigger will be when a record is created on the device orders entity, and the scope will be organizations, means for all of the users. We'll add a new step and search for approvals within the connector, and we'll select the start and wait for an approval. On the approval type, we'll select approve or reject, the first to respond. For the title, we'll select new device request for, and we'll specify the device name field. We'll assign it to the approver. We'll click on Show Advanced Options, and we'll specify the requester as the requested by. In the details, we'll specify a new device has been requested, and if you want, you can specify additional details. Such as the device name, and the price. as well as department contribution and comments. And we'll enter the text for each of the fields before. At this point, we can go ahead and save our flow. And add a new step for a condition. So I'm going to specify a condition. And specify when the outcome of the flow is equal to approve. We'll add an action to the yes condition to update the record. So we'll search for Common Data Service again, and we'll select the Common Data Service current environment and select Update a Record. We already have the entity ID that we need. We'll show the advanced options, and we'll set the approval status to approve. We'll set the approval date to UTC now. And we'll set the comments to whatever is in the comments field. We'll add another action which will be sending an email from Outlook. We're going to send the email to the person this was requested by. In the subject, we'll specify that your device order has been approved, and in the body of the email, we'll enter the contents as per the documentation. We'll specify the estimated ship date. And finally, we'll enter the response summary from the approval. We'll go ahead and say the flow again. And we'll verify that there's no issues with the floor. And we'll go ahead and test the application. So we'll go to our Canvas app. And we'll create an order. And we'll go ahead and submit the form. And press OK. We can close the app. Go back to the solutions. We'll go ahead now and check that we received the email for the new device request. And as you will see in the email, we have an approval form that says pending approval. We can either approve or reject. When I approve the form, I specify the message and submit it. Once submitted, I can go back to my flow and see that the flow ran successfully. If I go back to my email, I'll see that the device has been approved and who the approver is. Let's go ahead and modify our flow one more time to accept a condition of rejection. So in my condition area, where it says if the condition equals no, I'm going to add an action. I'm going to select my common data service and update a record. The entity name will be device orders. The item ID will be the unique identifier, and I'm going to specify the approval status is reject. I can enter in my comments the comments and also the comments that I received from my rejection response comments. And then I can add one more action, which will be to send an email. In the to, we'll specify this is the requested by. specify your device order was not approved, and your request for device was not approved, and we'll specify the response summary here. We'll go ahead and save the record. We'll go back to our Power Apps, to our Canvas app. We'll run the Canvas app. We'll select another item. We'll specify the comments, submit the form, press OK. We'll go ahead back to our device approval flow. Since this is asynchronous, it might take some time for it to run. Okay, we now see that our flow has started running. If we click on the flow, we see that an email was sent for approval. Let's go ahead and check if there's any new email messages. There's a new email message with the price of the device. I'm going to go ahead and reject and specify this is too expensive. I'll go ahead and submit it. I can go ahead and see the email that the device was not approved. If I go to my run history, it will show me that the flow has been completed. And I can see that it went through the flow that the device was not approved. Now from here we can take a look. We have under action items, we have a list of approvals. So any approvals that were sent by a particular user, I can go to the history and change the view to any approvals that were sent out, and then I'll see I have one cancelled, I have one that was approved, and I have one that was rejected. If I click on a particular approved item, it will show me all of the details and the activity, who it was created by, who responded by, and the message. And if there's any approvals that have to be, you can actually approve approvals directly from the approval center, not from your email. So this is the end of the fourth lab. I hope you enjoyed this series, and if it helps you complete any of the labs or follow the instructions on the book for any of the labs, then please share this with anyone you want. Thank you, and good luck with developing within the Power Platform. Goodbye.